Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode. We're working on Unit 6, Lessons 3 and 4. Our topic is still different environments. Let's start with our learning objectives. We're going to plan, write, and sequence texts. We will gather information from provided sources, and we will answer a question. We will read a presentation and an article about two places. We will write answers to questions about a city or place you know. We will give a presentation, share info about a city. We're going to be learning some vocabulary words from this episode and the previous one: bar chart, climate change, line graph, melt, series, x-axis, y-axis, canal, locate, spotlight. And of course, for language, we're going to be focusing on the present simple passive tense. Now, we're going to read and then speak. Look at the photos and titles in the article below. Then, ask and answer the questions in pairs. What do you know about these two cities? What are they famous for? So, we're looking at, on the left-hand side, Port Said, and on the right side, we're looking at Tanta. Now, what do you know about them? And what are they famous for? If you look at the pictures, they may help you. Share with a partner. Now, can you find these things in the photos below? We're going to look for a canal, cotton, a mosque, a ship, and some sweets. Now, our answers to number 2. All the items are in the photos in the spotlight section. So, in Port Said, you can find a canal, as well as a mosque and a ship. As for Tanta, you can find a mosque, cotton, and some sweets. Of course, both of them have one thing in common, which is a mosque. Both of them have a mosque in the pictures. Now, let's read together. Port Said is located in the northeast of Egypt. The city is known for its ships, which come and go from around the world. Port Said is connected to Suez by the Suez Canal. Many fish are caught in the sea near Port Said. Now, spotlight on Tanta. Tanta is located in the north of Egypt. Lots of cotton is grown in the area. The city is known for its delicious sweets. Tanta's beautiful Al-Ahmadi Mosque is visited by thousands of people every year. Now, I'd like you to work in pairs. You will find a partner, and you can be student A, your partner can be student B, and student A will read information about Port Said. And then, he or she is going to answer student B's questions about Port Said. Then, student A will ask student B the 4 questions below, which are: where is the city? Can you name a famous place in or near the city? What do people grow or catch around the city? And why is the city famous? Student A is going to read information about Port Said. Student B is going to ask student A about what he or she knows about Port Said. Then, student B is going to read information about Tanta and will be asked by student A. I hope this is clear enough. Let's move on. We're going to ask and answer questions in pairs. What are we going to do here? We will read and answer together. Tanta's beautiful Al-Ahmadi Mosque is visited by thousands of people every year. What is the main focus in this sentence? Of course, the main focus is the mosque. Number 2, who visits the mosque and which word introduces this? Thousands of people visit the mosque, and the word by introduces this idea of who visits the mosque. Many fish are caught in the sea near Port Said. What is the main focus here? The fish, of course. Who catches the fish? Probably the fishermen catch the fish. Now we're going to complete the sentences with the present simple passive form of the verb in brackets. Let's look at the grammar box. We use am is are plus the past participle when we talk about an action being more important than who does it, or when we don't know who did the action. Let's look at examples. People grow lots of cotton in the area. Here we're focusing on the doer of the action, which is people. So this is the active voice. But when I hide the person doing the action, in this case, I can say, lots of cotton is grown in the area. Here, I removed people. So we don't know who is growing the cotton. In this case, this is the passive voice. Let's look at another example. We know Tanta for its delicious sweets. Here we're focusing on we, which is the subject. If we want to remove the focus from the subject and put the spotlight on the verb, in this case, we will make it into a passive voice and we will say, Tanta is known for its delicious sweets. So our focus is not on us, but more of the verb. Now let's complete exercise 4. My home city is Minya. It is located near the Nile. Lots of food is grown in the local area, like potatoes, wheat, and sugar. The city is known for its delicious black honey. The honey is made from sugar. Many ancient monuments and buildings are found in the city. My city is very beautiful and interesting. So, when do we use the active voice? We use the active voice when we know who did the action and we put our focus on the subject. But we use the passive voice of the verb when we do not know the doer of the action or the subject, so we focus more on the verb. Let's continue. Choose the correct verb. The farmers around here are grown many vegetables. Of course, the answer here is already done for us. The farmers around here grow many vegetables. Let's move on to number 2. The museum is visited by lots of people every year. Of course, this is in the passive voice, so we will say is visited. The city is known or knows for its beautiful buildings. Of course, it is known. So number 3, the city is known. Number 4, Alexandria locates or Alexandria is located in the north of Egypt. The answer is located. Now let's jump to our writing section. Write a paragraph of about 90 words in your notebook on where you live or a place you know very well. Include such details as where it is located, what is visited by tourists there, what is grown or made there, and what is the place known for. So if I were to write my own paragraph, I would talk about the pyramids. So I would say, the pyramids are located in Giza. The pyramids are visited by many tourists every single year. Nothing is grown there, but there are many monuments that are created by clay and sold by the people there. The pyramids are also known for other activities such as horseback riding and camel riding, along with going inside the pyramids to watch the tombs. Now, write your own paragraph about a place you would like to share. Now we're going to move on to lesson 4, our vocabulary section. Find a small group in your home and work together. Which word do you think is the odd one out and why? So we're going to look at each group and find the word that stands out or is too different from the rest of the words. Let's look at the first one. Dolphin, camel, fish, and turtle. Of course, the dolphin, fish, and turtle are sea creatures. The only one that stands out or is extremely different is the camel. So we circle the camel, which is the odd one out because it's too different from the rest of the group. I think camel is the odd one out because camels don't live in the water. Number 2, desert, coast, coral reef, and island. A desert has no water on or around it, the others do. So desert is the most different one because it's a dry place, whereas the coast has water next to it or around it, along with coral reefs and the island. Number 3, hotel, house, beach, and tourism. Of course, the first 3 words are locations, whereas tourism is an idea. So tourism is the odd one out. It's not a place. Number 4, we have wildlife, pets, zoos, and schools. Of course, the odd one out is schools because they have nothing to do with animals. Number 5, protect, damage, respect, and look after. Of course, the odd one out is damage because it is negative. All the other words are positive. So protection is positive, respect is positive, looking after someone or something is also positive. The only negative feeling or connotation we get is from the word damage, so it is the odd one out. Now, I'd like you to listen to the introduction to the podcast and choose the correct topic.
Today on Environment Matters, we're looking at tourism on the Red Sea coast. Salma Fauzi from the Ministry of Tourism is here to talk about how we can have tourism in Egypt that doesn't damage the environment.
Now choose the correct topic. Is it how to get more tourists to visit Egypt, or how to stop tourism damaging the environment, or why tourists shouldn't visit the Red Sea? Now you can choose your answer, and it is how to stop tourism from damaging the environment. Now, listen again and complete the sentences with a word from the podcast. So you can rewind the video, listen to the audio one more time, and let's start together. Number 1, tourists visit the Red Sea from around the world. Coral reefs are important for wildlife. The blank on the sea coast are all natural reserves. Of course, islands. The islands on the Red Sea coast are all natural reserves. Number 4, there are blank about building greener hotels. There are rules about building greener hotels that people have to follow. Number 5, green tourism companies are given prizes. And the last one in this section, blank are taught how to look after the environment, and this is tourists are taught how to look after the environment. Now for our speaking section, work in small groups. How could the owners of a hotel near the Red Sea help the environment? Think about buildings, pollution, recycling, and water. Of course, a suggestion is they could put recycling bins in every room. What do you think? How could the owners of a hotel near the Red Sea help the environment? We can make sure that people collect rubbish from the ocean or from the sea so that there is no water pollution. Now let's talk about some values. Why do you think it's important to look after the planet? Do you think polluting the planet is going to affect our lives? Maybe. Let's think and discuss. What do you do to try to help the planet? So what are things you do in your daily routines that helps the planet? Do you ride a bus instead of a car? Or do you take a bike? Do you keep your trash with you until you go home? What do you do to take care of the planet? Do you think that there are more things you could do to help the environment? How could your family help? What about your school? So think about the things you should do that are more important than what you're doing, and then talk about how your family and school can help. That's a wrap. This was Ms. Sarah Bassioni. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.